Hi everyone, welcome to My Video Lawyer. My name is Mitch Jackson. This is going to be a casual daily Q&A session. I want to answer your legal questions if I can, and if I can't, get you going in the right direction. They're going to be short, sweet, informal, and I'd like to welcome you to the new show. My name is Mitch Jackson. I'm a senior partner at Jackson and Wilson, a California law firm. And if you hear the alarm in the background, Murphy's Law, right? The fire alarm just went off in our building. So I've been told it's a false alarm, but if you start seeing smoke in the room and you see me cut on out of here, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. But share the show. Hopefully we can answer important legal questions that you have, talk about important legal topics that are going on across the United States and the world, and have some special guests on to talk about some specific legal issues. Before we get started, let me do the typical lawyer disclaimer that the California State Bar recommends that I share with you before we get started. And the disclaimer is that although I am a California lawyer, I'm not your lawyer, okay? I'm here simply to share some opinions, to share some advice, to share some answers to some legal questions and legal issues that you may have. I'm not sharing any legal advice or opinions regarding your specific case. What I am trying to do is get you going in the right direction. I'm licensed to practice in California. I'm licensed to practice in the United States District Federal Court and the Central District of the United States Court of Appeals, Ninth Circuit. If you have a legal problem, if you have a legal question, I encourage you to contact a qualified lawyer in your city and in your state. So what we're going to do is use these buttons right here to share the show on social. Use the box below to submit your questions if you have any regarding your legal concerns and your legal issues. We did have a question submitted that I want to share with you, and it's right above me, and it has to do with what's been in the news lately with respect to police brutality, police wrongful death cases, people using cell phones and smartphones to videotape and audio record police detentions, police arrests, and things like this. So the question is submitted from, looks like Jimmy from Sacramento, is, do I have the right to take videos and pictures of police officers during an arrest or other incident? And we've had a couple other people ask similar types of questions. And the answer is it depends on what state you live in. There are some general ground rules that apply to all the states across the United States, and the law is state specific, but generally speaking, when you're outdoor in a public place, when you're lawfully present on a public place, you do have the right to use videotape in your smartphone or your cell phone to capture what's going on with an arrest, a police officer detention, or something else that's going on. There are a couple of ground rules when you are videotaping this type of incident. When I say videotaping, I'm talking about using a video camera or taking pictures with your smartphone. You want to make sure that you're not interfering with the police activity. You're not interfering with a detention, an investigation, or an arrest. You have to be a safe distance back, so just keep that in mind. If you're on public property, then you need the permission of, private property, you need the permission of the private property owner to be on that private property. You have to play by his or her rules. You only have the right to shoot video and photos while standing on private property with the private property owner's permission. Police officers, generally speaking across the country, they can't ask you to stop shooting a video or to stop taking pictures with your smartphone, but you have to use common sense. While you're shooting videos, while you're shooting pictures, you can't, once again, interfere with anything the police officer is doing. You can't be putting yourself, the police officer, or the suspect's safety in play. You have to be away from the scene of the incident in order to shoot video and to shoot photographs. So keep that in mind. If police officers ask you to stop taking video and ask you to stop taking pictures with your cell phone, you may not legally be required to stop, but common sense will tell you in most cases it's probably best to comply with the police officer's instructions and to stop videotaping and to stop taking pictures. That's for your safety. And there are a couple of steps you can take if you feel that you're being wrongfully instructed, wrongfully told to stop taking videos. Then there are some things I'm going to share with you at the end of today's freecast, at the end of today's show, to let you know what you might want to do next if you feel that your constitutional rights are being violated. I've got some notes here to answer this question. It looks like if a police officer asks for you to turn over, to give him or her your smartphone, your cell phone, the next question is, do you have to give that item over to the police officer? Once again, the general rule is you don't. The common sense dictates you don't want to place yourself in bodily harm. You don't want to expose yourself to bodily harm by not turning over the device. And if you feel that you were asked to turn over your smartphone and were not legally obligated to do so, then there are some repercussions. There are some steps you can take later on down the line, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you might either be arrested or harmed by police officers for not complying with an order, whether that order is legal or not. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. We're talking about videotaping and we're talking about photographs. What about recording the audio? What about using your smartphone to record the audio portion of a video, or simply as a recorder to record the audio situation that's going on that you're concerned about? And each state is different. There are certain laws in different states that talk about the right for someone to have a private conversation, even if that person's in a public place. So you need to be careful about that. So check the laws of your state as to whether or not you have the legal right to record, audio record what you're watching, what's happening during a police detention, a police arrest, or some other type of situation. Maybe it's a protest, before you start using the audio version or the audio recording of your smartphone. You want to be real careful about that. So the idea behind today's show is we're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to keep things informal. If you have any questions, I want you to please submit them to the show. Once again, right above me is our web address. It's myvideolawyer.com. You can submit your questions ahead of time, and we'll be happy to spend a little bit of time and research answers and get feedback back to you. You can submit them live on the show. You can come on the show. You can make a request to join me by video. You can submit your question over here in the chat box. Let me just type in. See, you can chat right there. It says right here. So it's a pretty cool dynamic platform. And I know this is the first show. We're just kicking the tires, but it's going to be a great tool to at least hopefully get people going in the right direction, get their legal questions answered from a general standpoint so that you know what your rights are and you know what steps you should probably take to protect your rights. One of the things I was going to mention is the ACLU has a really cool mobile app that you can download to your smartphone that explains your rights depending on which state you're in with respect to the use of your cell phone to videotape, to take pictures, and to take audio of the police in situations that I've just described. So if you go to the ACLU website or on your smartphone to the app stores, ACLU Mobile Justice app, that's how you can download the app. I've done so, and it's a great app. It's pretty cool. The one I've got is California specific, so you may want to check that app for your particular state. And then you've got all the answers in the palm of your hand. I'll tell you what, I think that's it for today's show. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can on Twitter. That's usually the best way. My Twitter handle's above. It's @MitchJackson. Our law firm website is jacksonandwilson.com. You can connect with me through our contact page there. You can also reach out at the myvideolawyer.com website. Submit your questions. It doesn't cost you anything. It's always my pleasure to help you any way I can. And if you think this is a good idea and you'd like to share it, by all means, please do. Share it on the social platforms. And I'll try to be here each and every day, depending on my schedule, depending on my calendar, with court and clients and things like that, to answer your questions and hopefully get you going in the right direction. So until tomorrow's show, thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure, and remember to always make today your masterpiece. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.